Donald Trump and women. This is a relationship that's not always easy to quite figure out. Take the tweet everybody's talking about today. People's lives are being shattered and destroyed by a mere allegation. Trump tweeted this one day after he defended a senior aide who was forced to resign amid domestic violence allegations. Now, the tweet reminds us of a couple of things. First, Trump has offered similar defenses of men accused of acting badly in the past. Remember Roy Moore of Alabama? And then there's this from a 1994 interview.
A softness disappeared. There was a great softness to Ivana, and she still has that softness. But during this period of time, she became an executive, not a wife.
Well, you now are married to a woman, and you who would like to continue her career. Marla says she does want to have a career.
There's a difference between having a career and working for me.
You have said you don't want Marla to work. You actually said
No.
that on the day of the wedding, actually.
I think I'm probably mixed. I have days where I think it's great. And then I have days where if I come home and, you know, I don't want to sound too much like a chauvinist, but when I come home and dinner's not ready, I go through the roof.
What? I want to bring in Nancy Collins. She is the journalist who did that 1994 interview. I love how you just come straight at him, Nancy, and tell it like it is. What do you make of this new tweet from the president defending an accused wife abuser? Is that what you would have expected from him?
Yes, unfortunately. He's always said inappropriate things about women, but what's new in this part of his life is the anger and the disdain that's attached to it. In our interview, for instance, he said to me, I tell my friends who treat their wives very well and get treated like crap in return, that if you roughen up, it'll make your marriage much better. And I said to him, do you hear what you're saying?
Yeah.
And he actually doesn't. And he said, well, that's what I believe.
So he doesn't even realize that that is a questionable statement at the very least.
Not at all, no. And the irony, too, Anna, is that he loves the image of being a faithful, one woman, one married guy. Those are the people he admires most. But I actually believe, by the way, that all this womanizing is highly overrated on his part. This is a guy who's a drastic germaphobe. He used to take 4 showers a day. Until he ran for president, he didn't let anybody shake his hands. And, you know, as we all know, sex is messy, and I doubt he's going to invite so many unvetted women into his bed. I mean, it just doesn't make sense. But I think he likes the Playboy image, the Hugh Hefner, who was his idol when he was growing up.
I want to ask you about that comment we just played, this idea. When I come home at night and dinner's not ready, I go through the roof. I know there are things like that which he said to you that at the time, in the 90s, he could kind of get away with, I guess. But imagine somebody of his stature, a socialite now, saying those exact words in this spirit of the Me Too movement.
Well, I now they can't say them at all. And I think actually what's great about the Me Too movement is women finally have a voice. They can kind of verbally and publicly get even. The thing about Donald is, and here's what's attractive about Donald. He is fun. When you're with him, he's full of beans. He's got a lot of charisma. He can be fun. I mean, that's why world leaders come in and see him. They are surprised. Personally, he's not the guy who is the public. His public persona is not who he is personally. That's not an excuse, however. This is a guy who, look, it's all about the mothers. His mother, you know, when he talks about his childhood, it's all about his father. You never hear him mention his mother.
Why?
I don't think she was much of a player. I think he learned how to treat women from the way his father treated his mother. And I think she was a bit of an afterthought. You know, she's a very interesting woman. She came from Scotland, the youngest of 10 kids, very hard scrabble farming, only got through the 8th grade. When she came here, she was a domestic for 4 years. I mean, that's the real American story, but you never hear him talking that way about her or reminiscing about her like that. Nancy, it's almost like he's embarrassed.
Nancy Collins, thank you so much for
You're
the
welcome.
Insight. Great to have you on.
Thank you very much.
Good to see you.